Hey everyone, welcome to the studio. Today, I want to talk about something interesting. I'm going to talk about how to use your influences and inspirations in a really crazy way. One of my favorite bands is Radiohead, and I love taking ideas from a band that either you love or you hate. I love taking ideas that are really interesting and more unique and crazy and boiling them down to where they can be used in maybe normal music. This is one crazy way that I took inspiration from Radiohead and applied it into, I don't even know what genre you'd really call this. While we were working on it, I called it a Western record, kind of like if a spaghetti Western was made by like alternative artists. Interesting, right? Let's jump into how I used the Radiohead influence and reference in this song. If you know Radiohead and you know the song Idioteque, first of all, you'll know this sounds nothing like Idioteque. What they used was a drum machine. So I started out with a kick, just simple kick. Put bass with it so you get some context. Let's talk about that snare for a second. That snare is based on that's the real borrow from Radiohead. But I took it and I chopped it off. It's not even like getting its full nice little trail. It's getting like chopped. So if you listen to just the snare for a second, it's getting chopped off a little bit sooner than you'd want it to. Now here come the beat boops. I love these. These are just some of my favorites. Ready? Now, those are just the toms from an 808, but they start lending their hand to almost be a little bit more a computer, like if you would hear it on like a sequencer or something like that. So nothing too crazy yet, until we got to the bridge and I'm like, you know what we need? You know what would go really well with Radiohead influence and reference? A mariachi band. Yeah, I think that's good. Let's look at the brass section. They're a terrible mariachi band. Okay, so let's actually look at what that really is. This is what's so fun. We wanted a mariachi band. I didn't know a mariachi band. What we did was we just grabbed a mic and we did. So check this out. This is just the mouth noise. I'm just going to say the artist had a phenomenal trumpet sound. And it just works. Now, obviously, I tuned it a little bit, EQ'd it, but that's about it. And when in doubt, drown it in verb. That way you can kind of get an idea of what it is, but covers your butt a little bit. So then, in the spirit of trying to achieve the trumpet sound, I layered in a layer of the Native Instruments trumpets. So those sound like this. Messy, terrible, right? Because we were just moving quick in the studio. Artists loved it. It was awesome. Hear it with the context of all the mouth trumpets. I mean, that works. Do whatever it takes to make it work. We needed trumpets. That was the option that day. Let's look at a little bit of context here. Because right now, you have Radiohead, mariachi bands, and a weird bass. Let's hear what this actually sounds like.
This night, survival means one day closer to you.
So if I was to have a spaghetti Western and Radiohead fused together, that's the move. I mean, if I was to try to do that with basic drums, it wouldn't have had the same effect. Look at the verses, for instance.
I will give you a shoulder to cry on. If you join me on the sand, I will die on. Bury me with the weight of 1917.
So those drums just carry it. It has like the vehicle that I wanted. Now, does it sound like Idioteque and Radiohead? No, not at all. And to the average person, they would have never thought, oh, that's a Radiohead reference. So you can take your inspiration from your influences, put it through your lens on the song you're working on. Just make sure you're not ripping anything off directly. Don't do that. We don't do that. Take heavy influence, put it through your filter, your lens, and all of a sudden you now have something that no one else has. Don't ever be afraid to try crazy combinations. Sometimes they work out beautifully, and sometimes you get things that you have never heard before. Use that in your mix. Go make some music. All right, until next time, later.